That subtle creepiness across your chest, the texture on your inner arms that just doesn't bounce back like it used to. Your body's telling a story, and peptide body lotions promise to rewrite it. But here's the thing. The gap between a $15 drugstore bottle and a $125 luxury jar is almost entirely marketing. I'm Julian Thorne, sustainability consultant and fragrance curator specializing in luxury beauty that doesn't wreck your wallet or the planet. You're listening to Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Quick note before we jump in. Everything you're about to hear is researched, verified, and written by real humans with actual expertise. But the voice you're hearing right now is AI generated, just keeping things transparent. If you've been tuning in regularly, genuinely, thank you. It means a lot knowing you trust this show to cut through the beauty industry noise. And if this is your first episode, really glad you're here. We drop new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you'll never run out of straight talk beauty content. Today, we're breaking down peptide body lotions, what works, what's overpriced, and how to get real results without the luxury markup. Let's get into it. The best peptide body lotions address these quiet defeats not with marketing promises, but with signal peptides that communicate directly with fibroblasts, the cells responsible for collagen synthesis. You'll find genuinely effective formulations at price points that make daily, full-body application sustainable rather than aspirational. I've spent 3 months testing peptide body lotions across every price tier, measuring absorption rates with a corneometer, tracking texture improvements with weekly photography. The best peptide body lotions address these quiet defeats not with marketing promises, but with signal peptides that communicate directly with fibroblasts, the cells responsible for collagen synthesis. You'll find genuinely effective formulations at price points that make daily, full-body application sustainable rather than aspirational. I've spent 3 months testing peptide body lotions across every price tier, measuring absorption rates with a corneometer, tracking texture improvements with weekly photography under consistent lighting, and calculating precise cost per application metrics. The performance gap between budget and luxury formulations is narrower than the beauty industry wants you to believe. Now let's talk about what to look for in peptide body lotions. Starting with peptide type and concentration, not all peptides function identically. Matrixyl 3000, that's palmitoyl tripeptide 1 and palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7, works as a signal peptide, telling skin to produce more collagen and hyaluronic acid. You'll find it effective at concentrations around 3 to 8%. Matrixyl Synth 6, which is palmitoyl tripeptide 38, stimulates 6 major components of the dermal matrix and functions optimally around 2%. Copper peptides, also called GHKCU, act as both signal peptides and antioxidants, typically formulated between 0.5% and 2%. The molecular weight matters for penetration. Peptides under 500 Daltons penetrate the stratum corneum more effectively. Tripeptides and tetrapeptides generally fall within this optimal range, while larger hexapeptides may require penetration enhancers like propanediol or caprylic capric triglyceride. Look for peptide placement in the first 7 ingredients. Anything listed after preservatives exists in concentrations too low for clinical relevance. The formulation pH should hover between 4.5 and 5.5 to maintain peptide stability and skin barrier function, a detail most brands conveniently omit from packaging. Moving on to supporting actives and delivery systems, peptides perform better within specific contexts. Niacinamide at 2 to 5% enhances ceramide synthesis and complements peptide activity by strengthening the barrier that peptides help rebuild. Hyaluronic acid in multiple molecular weights, high molecular weight around 1,000 to 1,800 kilodaltons for surface hydration, low molecular weight 50 to 300 kilodaltons for deeper penetration, creates the hydrated environment peptides need to function. Centella asiatica extract containing asiaticoside and metacasicide supports collagen production through separate pathways from peptides, creating synergistic firming effects.
I've noticed significantly faster texture improvement in formulations that layer peptides with 1 to 3% centella.
Delivery matters as much as concentration. Liposomal encapsulation protects peptides from degradation and enhances penetration. You'll see this listed as liposome technology, or specific peptides described as encapsulated. Anhydrous, that's water-free bases, or silicone-heavy formulations can compromise peptide stability. These signal peptides need water to remain bioavailable. Let's consider texture, absorption, and finish. A peptide body lotion you won't use daily delivers 0 results. Absorption speed determines compliance. I've timed full-body application absorption for each product in this guide. Anything requiring more than 3 minutes before you can dress becomes impractical for morning routines. The finish spectrum ranges from dry touch matte to luminous satin to rich occlusive. Dry touch formulations using dimethicone or cyclopentasiloxane work beautifully under clothing, but may not provide adequate occlusion for very dry skin. Richer emulsions with shea butter or squalane deliver more dramatic hydration, but can transfer onto fabrics. Your climate and skin baseline determine which formulation architecture serves you best. Consider fragrance chemistry carefully. Synthetic fragrance compounds can trigger inflammation that undermines peptide benefits, particularly problematic for sensitive skin. Natural essential oil blends sound appealing, but often contain allergenic components like limonene and linalool in concentrations that cause contact dermatitis over time. The most skin-compatible formulations I've tested either omit fragrance entirely or use subtle, naturally derived aromatic compounds at concentrations below 0.1%. Now, manufacturing origin and quality control. Several budget peptide body lotions manufactured in South Korea rival luxury formulations in elegance and efficacy. Korean cosmetic manufacturing operates under different regulatory frameworks than US or EU production, often permitting higher concentrations of certain actives. The country's infrastructure for peptide synthesis and cosmetic manufacturing creates economies of scale that benefit consumers directly. French pharmacy brands offer another sweet spot, dermatologically tested formulations at mid-tier prices. These products undergo stability testing that ensures peptides remain active throughout the product lifecycle, not just at manufacturing. Manufacturing transparency signals quality. Brands that list batch numbers, manufacturing dates, and specific peptide sources, synthetic versus plant-derived versus biofermented, demonstrate quality control worth paying for. Those hiding behind vague proprietary complexes often dilute expensive peptides with cheaper alternatives. Here's where price per ounce metrics and long-term value come in. The sticker price misleads. A 16-ounce drugstore bottle at approximately $15 delivers peptides at roughly 94 cents per ounce. A 6.7-ounce luxury cream around $125 costs approximately $18.66 per ounce, a 19 times price differential. If both contain comparable peptide concentrations, you're funding marketing and packaging, not superior biochemistry. Calculate cost per application based on your body surface area. Most adults need roughly 1.5 to 2 ounces of lotion for full body coverage. At twice daily application, a 16-ounce bottle lasts approximately 5 to 6 days. A product that seems expensive per ounce but comes in a 16 to 32-ounce format often delivers better value than a reasonably priced 4-ounce jar. Consider formulation density. Whipped mousses and aerated lotions contain incorporated air that reduces actual product volume. You'll empty these faster than dense cream formulations. Pump bottles meter consistent doses but often trap residual product. Tube packaging maximizes product recovery. All right, let's get into our top picks. First up, CeraVe's Skin Renewing Body Lotion. Check the link below to see the current price.
This delivers a respectable peptide complex, including a tripeptide 1 and hexapeptide 12 blend, alongside 3% niacinamide, 3 essential ceramides, and hyaluronic acid in a formulation developed with dermatologists. At approximately 75 cents per ounce for the 16-ounce bottle, it establishes the value baseline every other product must justify exceeding. The texture reads as classic American drugstore, competent but uninspiring. It's a medium-weight emulsion that absorbs within 90 seconds, leaving a soft matte finish with no residue. The fragrance-free formula makes it suitable for sensitive skin and post-procedure application. On the plus side, you're getting exceptional price per ounce value for peptide concentration. The MVE, or multivesicular emulsion technology, releases ingredients over time. It contains both peptides and barrier repair lipids. It's widely available at drugstores and mass retailers, non-comedogenic and suitable for all skin types. The downsides? Generic texture lacks the sensorial elegance of premium formulations. The pump dispenser wastes product in the final 15% of the bottle. It may feel too light for extremely dry skin without layering, and peptide concentrations aren't disclosed. They're likely under 3%.
Next, the Inky List Peptide Moisturizer. Check the link below to see the current price. This contains Matrixyl Synth 6 at what the brand claims is optimal concentration, likely around 2%, combined with 1% arginine-type hexapeptide for expression line softening. At approximately 55 cents per ounce for the body-size tube, it delivers clinical-grade peptides at genuinely accessible pricing. The formulation leans lightweight, almost gel cream hybrid territory. It spreads beautifully across large surface areas with minimal drag, absorbing within 60 seconds to a natural skin finish. I've noticed visible smoothing on crepey chest skin after 6 weeks of consistent application. What's working here? Transparent peptide disclosure and concentration claims. Extremely fast absorption makes it practical for morning use. No fragrance, essential oils, or common irritants. Manufactured in the UK with rigorous stability testing. And it plays well with other actives like bioregenerative peptides. The trade-offs? The 150 milliliter tube size means frequent repurchasing for full body use. It may feel insufficient for very dry climates without occlusive layering. The lightweight texture doesn't satisfy those who prefer rich creams, and there's limited availability compared to mass-market brands. Moving to Naturium Multi-Peptide Body Lotion. Check the link below to see the current price. This formulates a sophisticated peptide blend including Matrixyl 3000, Matrixyl Synth 6, copper peptides, and a pentapeptide in a base enriched with squalene, shea butter, and ceramides. At approximately $1.25 per ounce for the 12-ounce bottle, it occupies the sweet spot between drugstore utility and prestige indulgence. This is where texture elevation matters. The lotion has substantial body, a rich, almost whipped consistency that melts on contact but requires 2 full minutes to absorb completely. The finish reads as satiny rather than matte, leaving skin with subtle luminosity. There's a delicate botanical scent from plant extracts rather than added fragrance, fading within 10 minutes. The strengths? 4 distinct peptide types for multi-pathway collagen support. Luxurious texture rivals formulations 3 times the price. Suitable for dry to very dry skin without feeling heavy. Vegan, cruelty-free, and manufactured in the UK with disclosed sourcing. Contains barrier-supporting lipids alongside peptides. The limitations? Longer absorption time makes it impractical for rushed mornings. Satin finish may transfer onto clothing if you dress immediately. The 12-ounce size means higher per-application costs than bulk options. Not ideal for humid climates or naturally oily skin. Now, Good Molecules Silicone-Free Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Check the link below to see the current price. This features acetyl hexapeptide 8, an arginine alternative, and palmityl tripeptide 1 in a silicone-free base built on squalane and glycerin. At approximately 80 cents per ounce, it targets those avoiding silicones without sacrificing glide or absorption speed. The formula feels impossibly light for something completely silicone-free. Now, Good Molecules Silicone-Free Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Check the link below to see the current price.
This features acetyl hexapeptide 8, an arginine alternative, and palmityl tripeptide 1 in a silicone-free base built on squalane and glycerin. At approximately 80 cents per ounce, it targets those avoiding silicones without sacrificing glide or absorption speed. The formula feels impossibly light for something completely silicone-free, testimony to skillful formulation with plant-derived emollients. It absorbs in under 90 seconds to a natural finish that doesn't emphasize texture or dry patches. The complete absence of fragrance makes this my recommendation for chemically sensitive individuals. Why it works? Silicone-free formulation maintains excellent spreadability, suitable for sensitive skin and post-laser applications, fast absorption without silicone slip agents, clean ingredient deck with no potential irritants, budget-friendly enough for twice-daily full-body use. The challenges? Limited peptide variety compared to more complex formulations, may not provide enough richness for extremely dry skin. The 4-ounce size requires frequent reordering. Light texture feels less special than premium alternatives. Let's talk about Versed Smooth Landing Advanced Retinoid Body Lotion. Check the link below to see the current price. This combines encapsulated retinol with signal peptides and bakuchiol in an ambitious formulation targeting texture irregularities and crepiness. At approximately $1.50 per ounce, it delivers multiple anti-aging actives in one elegantly formulated tube. This represents a different category entirely, a treatment lotion rather than pure moisturizer. The retinoid content means you'll experience increased photosensitivity and potential initial irritation on delicate areas, but the texture improvements over 8 weeks surpass standalone peptide formulations. The lotion itself has medium body, absorbs in about 2 minutes, and leaves a smooth, primed finish. The advantages? Combines retinoid and peptide pathways for comprehensive texture improvement. Encapsulated retinol minimizes irritation compared to pure retinol. Bakuchiol provides retinol-like benefits through a separate mechanism. Vegan, cruelty-free, and EWG-verified formulation. Works synergistically with other barrier-first skincare approaches. The considerations? Retinol component requires dedicated SPF discipline on treated areas. Not suitable for pregnant or nursing individuals. May cause initial purging or sensitivity on reactive skin. Higher price point limits accessibility for budget-conscious buyers. Finally, necessitaires the body lotion. Check the link below to see the current price. This formulates a peptide complex alongside niacinamide, hyaluronic acid in 5 molecular weights, and a comprehensive lipid blend. At approximately $3 per ounce, it positions itself as accessible luxury, premium formulation without heritage brand markup. The sensorial experience here exceeds clinical efficacy discussions. The lotion emerges thick and opulent, warming between palms into silky liquidity. It glides across skin like massage oil, then completes its transformation into a satiny, non-greasy finish within 2 minutes. The fragrance, described as eucalyptus, sandalwood, and bergamot, reads sophisticated rather than spa generic, fading to skin scent within 30 minutes. What you're getting? 5 molecular weights of hyaluronic acid for comprehensive hydration, genuinely luxurious texture and scent experience, suitable for all skin types including sensitive, manufactured in the USA with detailed ingredient sourcing transparency. Refillable packaging reduces long-term environmental impact. The reality check? Significant price premium over equally effective budget options. Fragrance, while elegant, may trigger sensitivities. The 8.8-ounce size means higher lifetime cost for full-body users. Marketing emphasizes experience over peptide concentration specifics. Let's address some frequently asked questions. How long does it take to see results from peptide body lotions? Peptide body lotions operate on fibroblast timelines, not Instagram timelines. You'll notice immediate hydration and improved skin feel, but structural changes require patience. Surface texture smoothing typically becomes visible around 4 to 6 weeks with twice-daily application. This aligns with the skin cell turnover cycle, approximately 28 days in younger adults, extending to 40 to 50 days after age 40. Deeper structural improvements like increased skin thickness and reduced crepiness manifest around the 12-week mark. This matches the time required for new collagen synthesis, cross-linking, and integration into the dermal matrix. I document progress with weekly photographs under consistent lighting rather than mirror assessments, which are too subjective for accurate progress tracking. Consistency matters more than concentration. A 2% peptide lotion applied twice daily delivers better results than a 5% formulation used sporadically. The signal must remain constant for fibroblasts to respond. Those seeking faster visible results might explore body sculpting creams that combine peptides with firming actives like caffeine.
Yes, with strategic timing and attention to skin tolerance, peptides generally maintain stability across a wider pH range than their reputation suggests, typically functioning well between pH 4.5 and 6. AHAs, like glycolic acid, operate optimally around pH 3 to 4, while retinol tolerates pH 5.5 to 6.5. Layer your glycolic acid body treatment first, wait 20 minutes for pH adjustment, then apply peptide lotion. The concern with retinol isn't chemical incompatibility, but cumulative irritation potential. Both retinoids and certain peptides increase cell turnover and can compromise barrier function when overused. Start conservatively, perhaps alternating retinol and peptide applications on different days, then combine once your skin demonstrates tolerance. I've achieved excellent results layering Verst's retinoid body lotion over CeraVe's peptide formula on alternating evenings, allowing skin to recover barrier integrity on peptide-only nights. Those building comprehensive active routines should consult resources on how to layer bioregenerative serums for compatibility guidance applicable to body treatments. Do peptide body lotions work on stretch marks and scars? Peptides can modestly improve the appearance of mature stretch marks and scars by promoting collagen remodeling and skin thickness, but expectations must remain realistic. Stretch marks represent permanent dermal tearing. Peptides cannot erase them entirely. However, consistent application over 16 to 24 weeks typically reduces the depth and color contrast of mature silvery white striae by improving surrounding skin structure. Fresh, still red stretch marks respond better than old ones because active inflammation signals increased fibroblast activity. The same mechanism that creates the scar can be partially redirected toward repair. Copper peptides specifically show promise for scar remodeling due to their role in wound healing and collagen synthesis regulation. For hypertrophic scars or keloids, peptides offer limited benefit. These require interventions that actually break down excessive collagen rather than stimulate its production. For textured scarring, combining peptides with gentle physical exfoliation and potentially professional microneedling delivers superior outcomes to peptides alone. What's the difference between face peptide serums and body peptide lotions? The fundamental chemistry remains identical, but formulation architecture differs significantly. Face peptide serums typically concentrate actives in elegant, fast-absorbing bases optimized for small surface areas and daily makeup application. They're formulated for maximum penetration with minimal occlusivity. Think lightweight humectants and penetration enhancers, rather than barrier-sealing emollients.
Body lotions must cover substantially larger surface areas cost-effectively, while providing adequate barrier protection across regions with varying thickness and sebum production. This drives formulations toward richer emulsions with more emollients, often incorporating larger molecules that wouldn't work facially but provide necessary slip and hydration for body application. Cost per ounce dramatically favors body formulations. Face serums might deliver peptides at approximately $10 to $30 per ounce, while body lotions typically range from 50 cents to $3 per ounce. Using face peptide serums on your entire body becomes financially unsustainable unless you're independently wealthy. The performance difference rarely justifies the cost multiplier, though face formulations may feel more elegant on décolletage and hands. Should you refrigerate peptide body lotions to maintain stability? Refrigeration extends peptide stability but creates practical compliance problems. Most peptide body lotions formulated by reputable brands incorporate stabilizers and preservatives that maintain peptide integrity at room temperature for 12 to 24 months after opening. Refrigeration becomes necessary only for deliberately minimal preservative formulations or products containing particularly unstable peptides, like copper peptides at high concentrations. Heat and light pose greater threats than ambient temperature. Store peptide lotions in cool, dark locations away from bathroom windows and heating vents. Opaque packaging provides superior protection than clear bottles, another reason to favor brands that consider formulation stability from container selection forward. If you do refrigerate, remove the product 10 minutes before application. Cold lotion feels unpleasant and absorbs poorly until warmed to skin temperature. Some emulsions also destabilize with temperature fluctuation, separating or developing grainy texture when repeatedly warmed and cooled. Those serious about eco-effective beauty routines should consider that refrigerating cosmetics increases energy consumption with marginal stability benefits for properly formulated products. Here's the verdict. The performance gap between budget and prestige peptide body lotions continues narrowing as peptide synthesis costs decrease and formulation science democratizes. CeraVe delivers genuinely effective peptides with barrier-supporting lipids at approximately 75 cents per ounce, a value proposition that luxury brands simply cannot justify exceeding unless texture experience matters deeply to you. For those treating specific concerns like crepey décolletage or loss of arm firmness, Verst's retinoid peptide combination accelerates results beyond standalone peptide formulations. The approximately $50 per ounce cost reflects multi-active complexity rather than brand prestige.
Naturium occupies the sweet spot for daily luxury. Sophisticated peptide layering in a texture worth the 2-minute absorption wait, priced accessibly enough for consistent full-body application. Your body deserves the same biochemical sophistication as your face, without requiring a second mortgage to maintain the habit. That wraps up this episode of Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Thanks for spending this time with me today. New episodes come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you've always got something fresh waiting. If this episode gave you clarity on peptide body lotions, or honestly just saved you from wasting money on overpriced jars, I'd really appreciate a 5-star rating and a quick review. I know it sounds like a standard ask, but it genuinely helps other people find the show, especially folks who are tired of influencer hype and just want the truth. And go ahead and hit subscribe or follow so you get notified the second a new episode drops. Catch you next time.